So we are studying about what? Abstract class. Guys, here I have an interface playable which has three methods. Now, during the design of aeroplane, jet and helicopter more vehicles, we shortlisted that these methods are what? Mandatory methods. So we'll add them to interface and we'll enforce the developers to implement it so that their program will not what? Compile unless they give implementation for all the methods present in flyable. So this is true as long as the methods, whichever is there here, gets a totally different definitions in different classes. What if we came across a method which is also mandatory, whereas the implementation remains same either you go to aeroplane or a jet? Say for example, let's say we got to know that we need to have one more method called public void first aid. So even first aid is mandatory, isn't it? Now the problem is that my aeroplane will not compile or jet will not compile unless I have a definition for first aid, because we know that when a concrete class should have definitions for all the abstract method. That's what we have studied here. Let me do this cleanup. Okay, so what we are gonna do? Let's go to aeroplane and we'll add an implementation to that. So here we'll say first aid is in progress. Let me ask you one question. Will the first aid will be different in the aeroplane and will it be different in the jet or same? What do you think? Obviously it is same, right? Say if you are crashed in jet, do you think they are going to put two bandages to you? It will be the same process which they follow. So now if I go and compile, in aeroplane I have implemented, but if I compile jet will not compile because he don't have implementation for first aid method. That's what it says. So what shall I do? Now I'll add the same implementation here. But this solves the problem for sure. So let's say we'll compile. We'll say test.java space test. If I call anything, it will give the output. It is compiling through. There is no problem. But the problem here is we have rewritten the code twice. Mark my word, in Java, we never rewrite the code at all. The whole Java language, it is created such a way that not a single line should be rewritten. Not a single line. So how we can resolve this? This is where abstract class comes into rescue. So what is abstract class? Abstract class is just like interface, but it is a class, like the name says. The advantage of using abstract class over interface is abstract class can have definitions. It can have method definitions as well as abstract methods. So I will call this as now abstract class flyable. Couldn't we just keep it as interface flyable and add a definition like this? No, not possible. In interface, only thing we can have is abstract methods. Defining a method is not possible. Remember that. However, in JDK 1.8, there's one more new feature called default methods. So I don't want you to get confused now. So let's stick to my definition which I have given you now. So we'll make the class flyable. We'll convert the flyable into abstract class. So since it is abstract class, we can have abstract methods as well as concrete method. Now that leads to one very good interesting observation here. Earlier it was an interface. So in interface we studied that only abstract methods are possible. So it was optional to add the keyword abstract, but now we have abstract class where we can have abstract methods as well as concrete methods. So it is necessary to add the keyword abstract like this. You can shuffle them like this to illustrate that I have written, but generally it looks more neat and clean if you say public abstract. Now one more thing you have to understand. In interface, all the members are public, whereas in abstract class, the members are not public by default. And in interface, you can have only public members. you cannot make any member as private or protected. Whereas in abstract class, if you want to make them as protected or any other access specifier or modifier is possible. So in the abstract class, we studied that by default they will not be public. If you want them to be public, exclusively out to what? Write the keyword public. In order to inherit an interface, we use implements keyword. Whereas to inherit a class, we use extends keyword, extends flyable. Now here, aeroplane method has been already defined in a flyable abstract class. So we no need to redefine here. And here also we no need to redefine this. Now if I go here, let's say if I say aeroplane dot, let me straight away call just one method, first aid, or same way if I say new jet dot first aid, we can call like this. Is an object, right? So new aeroplane is assigned to a1, then a1 dot first aid, then same way we can say new jet dot first aid, we can call like this. But only thing is that after this line is executed, it will not have an what reference to this object, so it becomes an orphan object. Let me compile this. Oh, okay. Jet, there's a problem. So flyable is now an what? Is abstract class, so we have to use extends keyword. Clear? So 2 times we called, but you have to understand this here. First aid method is not at all there in aeroplane, and it is not there in jet at all, but it is defined in flyable. So the method definition, the method which has been a concrete method has been inherited, and we know that one. A concrete class can always have concrete method. So concrete method has been inherited. So when the class aeroplane says extends flyable, it inherited 3 abstract methods and 1 concrete method. So since it is a concrete class, since a concrete class cannot have abstract method, we have overridden those 3 methods. And what about the first aid? Suppose assume like that in the aeroplane class we are going to do something extra, then we can always what? Override the first aid method here. So but that's something which I am going to teach you in the next lesson, that is inheritance using concrete classes. There we'll discuss more about method overriding. Now there are few important points which are written in the notes, which is not mentioned in the video here, and it is not necessary also. Please write it down in your notebook. See you in the next video.